This is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. I wanted to do an update on the U.S. stock market, specifically on the S&P 500. And I'm going to make a bearish call here. And with that, let's get into it. So this is a daily chart on the S&P 500. It goes back about 6 months. So this is fairly short term. And you can see our ending diagonal pattern here way up into the top. And now we've broken down below that. And we're forming a potential head and shoulders top here with the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and the neckline, which is slightly downward slanting. If we're to break 5,800, our price projection would be 5,500. I think that this is a very good place to be shorting because of our rainbow convergence here, a la Tom McClellan's tool that I want to give a shout out to. And we got a cluster of moving averages coming together right here, right where prices are. So if prices don't break through this, it promises a lower low, which would be below, that would be Thursday's low at about 5,800. And that might get us started on the downside. My stop is up here at let's call it 6,100. So right now we got about 2.7% risk on the upside to short right here. And the downward potential is to 5,500, which is, I don't know, approximately 8-9%. So I think the reward to risk is really good. And let's take a look at a longer term chart, which will give you a more perspective of why I think it could be a lot more than this. This is a weekly chart. So this goes back like 3 years, started in 2022, this chart. So you can see the bullish channel here, and prices were overbought. They broke outside the channel and they stayed outside the channel. And on previous calls, I've mentioned I was actually bullish in December. But I had mentioned on previous calls that we had this negative divergence developing on the weekly and monthly chart. And basically, as prices have hit higher highs, we've gotten lower highs on our RSI, flashing a caution sign, beware a change of trend. And this big volume bar back 3 weeks ago, that's a change of character for the market. So I just want to notate that there were some big sellers that came into the market that week. And so, this negative divergence on a longer term basis gives me normally when you have something 10 months in the making, negative divergence, it's a pretty good correction or setback. So that's where we're at. I'm bearish as long as we hold below 6,100. The monthly chart, I just want to point this out, and I've talked about this before too, is that we actually have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year negative divergence on the S&P 500. That's way bigger than the 2000 negative divergence, which I believe was about 4 years. And the 2007 was only like, I think it was 11 months. So this is gigantic. So at some point it's going to matter. And I think right now, just having 2.5% risk on the upside by shorting the S&P 500 and potentially a lot bigger potential on the downside, it's a pretty good reward to risk. And I don't really care where the market goes. I'm just trying to make money. Seasonality also turns bearish now. So here we are into March. Now, this is just a tendency. It's like over the last 25 years, this is what normally has happened. And you can see, I was bullish here mid-December into year end, short term. I've been bearish long term for got, I don't know, maybe 8 months. And the VIX, a measure of volatility. So institutional investors buy the VIX when they feel like they need potential protection. And so you can see back in 2000, all the higher VIX readings, while the market, this black line was going up. So they were already saying, this thing's getting overcooked. I need to start buying some protection. And then, of course, we got the big thing correction 2007, similar 2020, 2022, we got a pretty big correction from, and currently we also have higher lows. What I wanted to say is when you got prices going up and you got higher lows on the VIX, it's telling you that something bad could happen. Now, this higher lows in the VIX could go on for another 6 months or it could go on for another couple of years, but it's just something I wanted to point out. So bearish on the S&P 500. Thank you for watching Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. Please like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your weekend.